Hi, Jason Perico for Bianchi Honda, suggesting you start your new year with a new Honda. Start by leasing the 2016 CR-V LX all-wheel drive for $299 a month with zero down. That's right, the no money down lease is back. Only $299 a month for the 2016 CR-V LX all-wheel drive. With over 500 Hondas in stock, I promise to find the right Honda for you.
Wednesday, Sean Amakuchi and I will be at Seton Hill University in Greensburg for the Gannon women and the Gannon men, two big games, and I'll be back here on a Friday. And as promised, I want to welcome Gannon University women's basketball coach Jim Brunelli. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Jimmy. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. Streets are clear. Another day without snow.
Man, you gotta love that.
You know, if we had this weather all year round like it's been, we'd have about 5 million people living in this place.
Exactly.
I'll tell you that
exactly.
much.
Exactly.
Coach, again, the crazy piece back west, from one Monday to another.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep track, but you guys did what you had to do the last two games. Take us through Pitt Johnson, because I wasn't there. That's why I had to think about it.
Yeah, Pitt Johnson was this past Saturday down at their place. It was senior day, and didn't know that until we got there from the game. I don't read their press notes or anything like that, so I probably should start doing that just to have a better idea. But we went down the night before, got a good night's rest, went in, had a good shoot around, was feeling pretty good. Come back, found out it's senior night. And, the big talk in the locker room beforehand is just, we got to match their emotions. Senior nights can go crazy as far as, kids playing, teams playing with a lot of emotion. And so it's just a matter of going in and trying to take care of business. Because UPJ, their record doesn't show how good of a team they are. They really have a nice ball club down there. Coach Dreas has done a nice job. They just, they just have more losses this year. And but the one thing going into that game, and watching our game from right before Christmas, they hang around with teams. Uh-huh. And the longer you let a team hang around, the chance of them coming back are pretty good. And, just watching our game, it was like a tied ball game, 1 or 2 point ball game going into the third quarter for us. The first time, and then you watch them play, they beat IUP a couple games before at their place in overtime. They come up to Edinburgh and hang around and have a chance to tie it or win it at the buzzer. And so it was just important for us to come out focused, come out ready. And I'll tell you what, our ladies did an amazing job. Came out, scored like 26 points in the first quarter, held them to 8. They were playing both sides of the court, which was fantastic. That's what we wanted. And then we just tried to keep going from there. But really, we had 14. I think we had 14 assists, 13 turnovers. Anytime you can have more assists and turnovers, you're doing well. We shared the ball very well. A lot of kids had an opportunity to play. A lot of kids had an opportunity to score, which was really nice. But it was a really good game, and I really enjoyed the focus and the energy, because that's what you have to have when you're playing any game, especially on the road.
The game before that, a home game, and again, nowadays, this just isn't sports talk.
Yeah.
These teams are dangerous, and
Absolutely.
Clarion, who had been playing very well, but you jumped on them with a good run in the first half to take control of Clarion.
Yeah, we got out to a good start, and then they come storming back, and they ended up taking the lead from what I remember. And right before halftime, I think we tied it up. Right before halftime, and then our third and fourth quarter was really good. We come out. They had a little trouble with our press. And then we started knocking down shots. In that game, we had something like 20 or 22 assists to 16 turnovers, which was really good because we only had 6 in the second half. We had a little bit too many turnovers in the first half from that game, and I was just trying to make the spectacular pass. And I think sometimes just making the basic pass and working the offense a little bit more instead of trying to fire that really good pass in there, thread the needle type deal.
Right.
We worked the ball around a little bit, and another team win, shared the ball. Again, like I said, you have 20, 22 assists. That means you're passing the ball around, and our ladies were hitting on all cylinders, which was good. So we just have to keep that up. This is the final stretch. Even though we've been taking it one game at a time, one day at a time, that type of stuff, these last several games are going to come down to it, and they're all big games. Every game on our like I've said before, every game on our schedule is a big game. You can't look ahead too far, and you can't worry about what's happened. You just got to learn from it. And ladies did a really good job, and we just have to continue to play that way. We have Seton Hill coming up this week. They're coming off a couple good wins. And, we just got to stay focused and be ready to go, because that's always been a good gym to play. They've always had some really nice crowds. This is the first time we've played them on a weekday, as I remember down at their place. It's always been Saturdays.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But we had a good practice today, and we're ready to go.
All right. It seems you're in a position, and as you said, you don't want to look ahead, but also impossible not to.
Yeah.
If you win out, you're in great shape.
Absolutely.
Which is a nice position to
Yeah,
be in.
that's a great position to be in. I think we talked about it before last week's show. We just got to take it one game at a time, and every game on our schedule from here on out is a big game. We just have to stay focused, and the ladies got to stick to the game plan, and we got to go from there on both ends of the court. That's the main thing. Got to play good defense, and then you got to work the ball around and get good team shots, and that's the most important thing.
Seton Hill, then. Let's take a little preview of them. Kind of a different place to play. It sits down in. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it's hard to shoot with that background or what.
Yeah, we've had some pretty good success there over the years, and we're looking forward to get down there and play again. But you're right; it's a little different gym. It's not as big as some of the venues we play in, the Hammer Mill. But it's a nice size, and they get fans down there to cheer them on, which will be nice. And I know our Gannon fans will travel, and we're just looking forward. But you're right; you kind of step down into it, and they have seating on all four sides. A lot of the students and some of the athletes who come in sit underneath the baskets, which can make it a pretty good atmosphere. You know what I mean? When you're that close. So especially underneath the basket where, 5-6 feet away, there's people yelling in your face. So, but no, it's just it's going down there and trying to take care of business. And, they got us up here, and we probably had one of the worst fourth quarters we've ever played of basketball since we've gone to the fourth quarter. And we have to rectify that. And I think the last couple games show exactly how we've done that, and it's just going back to playing team basketball.
They're another team that's up and down. You think you have a read on them, and then they lose to somebody, then they beat somebody.
Yeah.
Other than just a miserable performance in the fourth quarter, what do you credit that to, them or you? Or?
I think it's both. I think they played some good defense, and I think the other part is probably 50-50. We took shots. We settled for what they gave us instead of working the ball a little bit better, and you can't do that. You hear the saying all the time, take what the defense gives you. Not necessarily. If you're a,
the
20...
defense is giving you what they want.
Exactly. So my thing to that is if you're a 28% three-point shooter and they're giving you three-point shooters, it's probably not a good idea to take a three-point shot. So I say we work the ball around, we do a little bit of thing, and our fourth quarter against them, we did some hero ball. And what I mean by hero ball is we didn't work to get a good team shot, we worked to get a good individual shot. And you can't do that in the game of basketball in a team sport. You can't just come down, make one pass and jack up a three, or take one dribble and jack up a three. You got to work the ball around, and that's when we've played well, that's what we've done. We had a lot of people come in and play the game well, so it's just one of those things where we have to continue to play team basketball. That's the big thing.
And again, it's impossible to look ahead with a coach, but the fact remains that you got a game that's going to get you quite excited after that, defending national champs. A team that I don't know how they did it, but they beat you. If I wasn't watching the scoreboard, I would have left happy, I guess.
Yeah.
California, another team, up and down, and beating teams that that are good teams, losing to teams I didn't think they'd lose to.
Right. No, that's another thing, and we'll look at that game again when the coaching staff's already watched it a couple times. But it's one of those things where, again, the biggest thing from that game is we turned over the ball. We turned over the ball 20-some times, 21, 22 times, and still had a chance to win towards the end. And so, the big thing is we got to value every possession. And we've been doing that recently, which is good, but we can't have that roller coaster effect. You can't value it for 2 games and then not value it the next because you put yourself in a bad situation. Every possession matters. Every possession matters.
The last 2 weeks, have you seen an improvement, a noticeable improvement anywhere other than just again worrying about one game at a time. It's not like you told them 2 weeks ago you got to start doing this.
Yeah, right.
Pass
No,
it
I
better.
think there has been some good things. I think some individual play of some certain players. I think LaShawna Gatewood has come along. Some of our freshmen have made some good strides and done some nice things. Our returners have been pretty solid. And Jenny Teese, you know, she's pretty much a double machine. She's going after rebounds. She's scoring on the block. You know, McKenna Shives, Morgan Neighbors, Amanda Birchtold, Brianna Brennan, they've all done pretty well in our bench. But I think our biggest thing is playing together on both ends. It's not about you're guarding your man. It's I got my man, but I got yours if you need it. And that's important on the defensive end, just as much as making that extra pass to a wide open person or making an extra cut that leads to a pass that gets somebody open, a better shot. It's not just we're getting shots for Morgan Neighbors, McKenna Shives, Bree, or Teese. It's those are our shots. And that's the biggest thing that we have to realize that, hey, what you're doing, all five of you out there are a big deal, you know, and that's what team basketball is all about. It's everybody helping one another. It's not we're trying to get shots for this or that person. If Teese does her job on the inside, that means our perimeter players are going to get shots on the outside. If our perimeter players on the outside are getting shots, that means we're going to get the ball on the inside. And it doesn't matter who comes in there. So those are the big things, is just coming and playing together as a team. But I like some of the individual play that I've seen the last couple games. You know, LaShawna's been feeling really good, and she's had that attack mentality.
Yeah, she's a tough one.
Yeah, and she's done a really nice job. So I'm liking what I see there. And Nicole Cava had a great game down at UPJ, hit some big shots for us, played some good defense. And, you know, we're just looking to continue to keep building. I think when you're at this time of the year, you want to peak at the right time. And I think hopefully that's the direction we're headed in.
In your discourse here, you mentioned several times Birchtold, Neighbors, and Teese happen to be three seniors.
Yeah.
Can you overestimate the importance of senior leadership, especially girls that have been through it?
No, it's so vital. It's so vital. You know, I in my career as a coach, I've had young teams, I've had old teams, and it's just about that maturity level. You know, you can have a young team, you know, sophomores and some freshmen, and have a good maturity level to it, but there's nothing that replaces that experience. And, you know, it's one of those things where experience, it's tricky. In the job force, if you're young, you don't have experience, how do you get it? You got to get your start somewhere. But in the game of basketball, and being in certain positions at certain times, time and score, fourth quarter, first quarter, however you want to look at it, that experience is very, very key. And a lot of the times this year, our ladies have done a great job. There's been some miscues. It hasn't been perfect because we've had some mistakes by upperclassmen as well as freshmen. But more so than not, we've had positive things come from it, and it's so important to have that calming effect.
All right, we haven't talked about this in 4 or 5 weeks. I do like to get an update recruiting, where you're at. What do you have left to offer? Are you looking at certain people or certain positions?
Yeah, we signed three. We signed three in November.
Yeah.
Marissa Sibka out of Superior Rock High School. We signed Haley Tavis, who is the sister of Lauren, who is currently on our team, from Waterford Kettering High School in Michigan. She was just down to see, her family was just down to see our team play in Johnstown. And they're having a really nice year. It was her senior night on Friday, and you know, she's 14 points, 8 or 9 rebounds, 8 or 9 assists, you know, having a really nice year up there. And then the last one we signed was a point guard. Her name's Kiana Cannon, out of Marshall High School in Wisconsin, and she's having a tremendous year. As of right now, they're 18 or 19-0 and have played some really good games, so we're excited about that. We got a verbal commitment from another guard out of Pennsylvania, down around the Pittsburgh area. We can't mention her name right now because of NCAA rules, but we're excited about that.
What position, Coach?
She's a guard. She could probably play the 3 or the 4.
No.
Yeah, she's a big guard, about 5'10", 5'11". Good-sized kid, comes from a really good program. We're excited about her. We have some other kids, a post player out of Ohio that is pretty much verbal to us, which we're excited about. We're just waiting till the signing day to get her. And we're probably going to look at possibly getting at least one more. I'm looking at a couple transfers.
6 new faces, possibly?
Possibly, yeah. So it's exciting because I think with the group we have here, And then the newcomers, it's really exciting when you can add some talent to your team. And then the nice part is you're trying to figure out how they're all going to work together. Some people, they would be like, I don't know how you do it, but man, I love it. I wake up every day and I just absolutely love that I'm in this sport, that I'm here at Gannon, that I get to do what I do.
It sounds like you might be taking 5 freshmen. And then would you like to get a transfer that's in a different class to give you some class?
That's the option that we have. That's the option. We have 2 kids that we're looking at. One would come in as a junior. The other one would come in as actually a sophomore.
Oh, okay.
So it's a possibility that we could get one of those, which would be nice, but it's just gonna depend on what they're looking for, and obviously scholarship has availability, money available. If we have it, we have it. If not, we just got to go after the kids that we know that are going to be a great asset to the university campus as well as our team.
All right, Coach Brunelli, I'll see you 1 o'clock Wednesday on the bus.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks again for having me.
Hospitality, and thanks, Coach.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
We'll be back, everybody.